There was a squirrel on that tree right there. I swear, he was just there. Man, squirrels are sexy. Hello everyone and welcome to 4-Speed Diecast, the stupidest diecast show on YouTube. I am Max the Finger and welcome. Tonight we have a special guest star, Sir Nose Devoid of Funk. Mr. Funk, good evening, sir.
Howdy, how are you?
I am wonderful. I'm pointing now.
Yes,
At this little car. It's the Pony Up. I've been promising everyone for the last 2 episodes that we're going to look at this thing. M2 casting. It's supposed to be a gasser, and of course it's supposed to have under here, under this, where this little thingy sticks through this other piece. Under here is supposed to be this that just fell. This right here, 427. Hick 427 overhead cam, single overhead cam. I'm sorry. Oh, no, I'm not gonna edit that out. That's staying. Come back, you son of a. So, Mr. Funk, how's the weather outside?
It looks quite clear, despite it being somewhere in the middle of the night.
Yes, there's a reason that I come from here, the table of shame. So anyway, we're going to look at this little Pony Up gasser. I just took it out of the box. I didn't give it a good looking over, but I did look at it because I had to, because it just came out of a box. But yeah, I mean, it's a typical M2 65 casting on a gasser body. You know, little fuel tank on the front, little fender well headers, little bit of bug catcher sticking through the hood. It looks pretty decent. The paint is sparkly and it's fairly smooth. But, and you knew there was going to be a but, because I can't leave well enough alone and just say, oh, it's pretty, oh, it's good enough. No. Right down here, right at the bottom of the fender, right there, big chip out of the paint. Another one right there in the front corner, right on the valence panel. So it's not perfect, but all in all, it's supposed to be a gasser, and I guess probably for next time I'll have this thing all done up as a proper gasser. But right now, let's just take a look at it. These are the wheels that I'm going to wind up using on it. These are like Hildebrand copies, I guess you'd say. I don't know how well that comes out. Do you think that comes out well, or is that shit?
I mean, I don't know. It's not on the car yet.
You can't. Well, can you see it on the screen, though? Does it look okay on the screen? Do you think that's fairly clear? Do you think everyone that's watching, all 3 people, will be able to see that?
Probably.
Okay, so anyway, we're gonna use those. And of course the big ass ones on the back, the slicks, and the little skinny tires. And it's always nice when my finger just casts a shadow over every damn thing in sight. So, yeah, we're going to take it apart. We're going to look inside. We're going to see what it's going to take to maybe put a little roll bar in there and detail the interior. And I'm pretty sure this hood will come off. And if it doesn't come off, I'm probably going to break it trying to take it off. But I think it'll come off. So, we'll find out. Let's see. And before we get too far into Pony Up, I am going to tease this once again. We're going to look at this in just a minute. Just a little tease. A little bitty tease. Here it comes. Yeah. Can't see it. It's blurry. But anyway, we're going to look at that in just a second here. So, let's get on with it. Let's take this this little critter apart and see what it looks like inside. Okay, so here's the thing. It's supposed to be a gasser, obviously. You know, blower, gasser chassis over there. How about you point at the things there for me, because you got the smaller device. We're gonna get Mr. Funk involved, and yeah. So, like, yeah, there's the chassis over there, and if you could point over here, and then over here is the body, and I kind of noticed that it's got colored windows, but they look a little dull. So I might have to get a little polish on those guys. So, if you want to point at the interior here, Mr. Funk, so that people will know what we're looking at, the interior right in there. Okay, so it's supposed to be a gasser. Here's the first thing. It's just got a standard Mustang interior in it. So to build a gasser, that's going to have to go. The can we see the instrument panel? Can you point at the steering wheel with that pointer? There we are. Teamwork. That's what gets things done, people. It's teamwork. I still cannot see a thing on there. Hold on. Let's find an extra light. We got the extra light. We got the professional style pointer, and we're trying to see. It doesn't really look like there's any kind of gauge layout or anything in there. So yeah. Personally, I'm thinking that this is a good tub to use as a base for a chassis. But yeah, that's totally wrong. Or maybe just make one out of styrene, because I don't know if those seats are. It looks like the seats are molded in. So, I'm going to have to cut some things out of there or just make new parts. But anyway, who knows? We'll see in the future. It'll take some time. But, yeah, so that's that. Let's see. Wrong interior. The chassis looks okay, I think. I mean, it'll work for a gasser. I think with just a little bit of detailing on the chassis there, on the springs and on the ladder bars, maybe some paint on the bottom of the engine. Hey, Mr. Funk, would you point right over here, so that, yeah, right there, and then back a little bit, and yeah, there we go. Okay, thank you so much. I did notice that it doesn't have any exhaust molded into it, which it shouldn't, because it's a gasser and you've just got the headers dumping out right there, which need to be filed off and colored some dark color to look like they're actually being used. But yeah, M2 did a fairly decent job on this chassis. It's not perfect, but you know, it'll work. We're out of focus again. This has always been an issue here, hasn't it? Focus? Why can't it focus? Will you please focus? Alright guys, give me the pro tips here. What do? Stick my finger in there? Mr. Funk, will you please put something in here that makes this focus? Just something. It doesn't matter. Oh, there we go. Okay. Thank you. So let's get rid of all that trash, and let's look at the M2 screwdriver, because I have 47 of these. Yeah. No. Let's look at the secret vehicle that I've been teasing, because it's, well, boys, I'm just going to be honest. If this offends you, I'm just going to say it. This thing is just weird as shit, and I love it. So, there's that. And so, without further ado, here we have the mystery car, coming to you direct from the table of shame, a 1972 Checker Marathon. A Checker Marathon. Some of you are probably not old enough to have ever seen one of these, and I know a lot of you guys that do this stuff are as old as I am, and you've probably ridden in one. So Let's toss that over there. Toss that over there. And put the checker right in the middle of the shame. Oh, look at that. It wants to roll. There we go. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Funk. So, yeah, green light. Oh. It's terrible. It's terrible. Come back. Come back. So, green light, has been doing the checker cabs for a couple of years now. And I saw this on a peg the other day, and I'm like, there's no way. No way. No, green light didn't do that. And they did. Yes, they did. They made a civilian version of the wonderful old checker cab. Right now, out of the box, this is the first time I'm seeing it as well. I'm seeing it through the lens of this device here. So, yeah, it looks nice. It looks weird. I rode in many of these cars when I was a kid. The taxi variant, of course, not the civilian ones. And, yeah, this brings back the old days. I did see a few here and there, throughout my life. But, Mr. Funk, what? Oh, shit. Come back. Where's the parking block? Where's the parking block? There it is. Okay. So, Mr. Funk, what are your first impressions of the 1972 Checker Marathon?
It's an earlier year than I thought it would be.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it would have been from 1950.
Ah, well, see, and you can pick it up and roll it around if you like. Have a close look at it. It's right. Okay, you don't want to. I can tell you don't like it already because you're like looking at it with that look of scorn and anger. Like, why would you even suggest that I want to pick up that hunk of shit? So anyway, Mr. Nose Devoid of Funk over here does not like it at all. And it does seem to have a little something on the roof there, but I'll take care of that. I'll level out the paint there and it'll be fine. So, yeah. Great little casting from Greenlight. Let's see what we got under the hood here. Let's see what we're working with here, boys. Let's see what we got. Shit. The screwdriver's in the way again. Get out of here. Stop it. So let's see. Let's see what we have under the bonnet for the folks in England. We can't get any light under the bonnet. There's no frickin' light under the bonnet. Why is there? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Funk. Oh, there we go. We got a nice little, is that a straight six or is that a... I don't know exactly what that is. If that's a straight six Chevy or a V8 Chevy or just kind of a hunk of plastic that's out of focus again. Focus, piece of crap. I don't know. It doesn't look like much of anything to me. It looks like a piece of plastic in there. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to represent a 72 model, so by then they would have been all Chevy V8s, or excuse me, either Chevy 6s or V8s. So it's one or the other. This was long after the time when they quit using Continental engines, and it was pretty much basically a Chevy drivetrain in these things. But yeah, pretty cool. I like it. Good job, Greenlight, except for the engine that seems to be just a hunk of plastic. I don't know what's going on there. I think maybe it needs to be swapped with like a supercharged big block Chevy engine. Will that happen? Nah, probably not, but who knows? It might. It may. All right, let's throw this now. And so I'm sure that some of you are asking, or maybe you're not, you're like, hey, this guy talks a lot of shit about die-cast cars and whatnot, but can he actually customize a car? Can he paint a car? Okay, we're going to find out. Because I've got this cord right here, this old Hot Wheels cord from years and years ago. Which I had a couple of them, and I've got one of them that's really in very nice shape. And this one was kind of chipped up, and the paint was faded. And I think at some point, someone had marked on it with a red Sharpie. So, but the wheels are good. The white walls are still pretty good on it. And, you know, it's not really damaged. It just needs to be pretty. So, I think that's the next thing right there. What color? I don't know. I'm thinking like trying to do almost a Spectra Flame kind of paint job on it. Maybe in a red or a blue. And, of course...
Brushed steel.
Oh, you know, I really thought of that. I really thought about just polishing this thing out and just leaving it like that. And it might actually look pretty cool. But, I don't know. I'm thinking it's got to have some kind of color because I want to go in and detail in all the side trimming on it, everything around the pipes there where they come out of the engine bay. Got to throw a little bit of some kind of color on the interior there, especially on the dash, because he's had the big engine turned chrome dash in him and whatnot. So anyway, you know, not really a restoration, more a restoration plus, I guess. But it needs a lot, you know. You guys that do this stuff, you can probably tell that body line right there, it needs some love. So we're going to do that. And I don't guess I'm going to throw this one because it will fly apart. So I won't do that.
We will roll it.
I'll roll it away. I'll just let it roll until it goes off of the edge of the table of shame. And this one doesn't roll, you piece of... Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, okay. Well, Hot Wheels didn't really make that one too hot. And lastly here on the project list, which seems to be what this turned into. It was supposed to be a review of the Pony Up Gasser and the Checker Cab, or excuse me, the Checker Marathon. But it's kind of turned into my to-do list. So, you know, if I want to get out there with a YouTube channel and make all that big, sweet Diecast custom show money, and I realize some of you guys are making tens of dollars off of this, you know, I got to get some shit going here, boys. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying here. So this is a Starsky and Hutch Torino, of course.
Pretty car.
Is it?
It's a very pretty car.
The Torino in general, or this one?
That one.
Do you like it gray?
No, more the body shape.
Oh, okay, yeah, me too. I've always dug Torinos. We did a Torino last week, and I screwed up part of it. But anyway, but yeah. So this was a Starsky and Hutch Torino, and I yanked the wheels off of it because I've got several of these, and put them on a Starsky and Hutch M2 van, and I don't have any pictures of the van, so I can't show you what the wheels look like, but you'll just have to trust me, they look better than what was on there. And yeah, so we got this left over, and I got to fix the little dimple there in the roof where the little red light was, you know, that Hutch would throw on the roof. If you know Starsky and Hutch, if you don't, that makes no sense. But yeah, it's got a little casting flaw right along there that I've got to take care of, and just little things like that. So I think I'm just going to do it up as something a guy would drive in about, say, 1982. You know, because you got to have an era. If you're going to build something, you got to have an era, right? Or not. I don't know. So anyway, I think it's going to get this set of M2 wheels that were from the Pony Up Gasser, the orange one. So I like them. They look like my God, the camera work on this channel is friggin' brilliant. So, they just look like old school torque thrust wheels. I think that'll be a cool look. I think I'm probably going to chrome them. I'm probably going to make them chrome because it's a 74 Torino. You're putting big-ass wheels and tires on it. It's got to be chrome. It's got to be. But, okay, so that's that. So what have we learned here today, boys and girls? Besides, I don't really get anything done. And besides M2, put a really good paint job on here. And then, well, it's supposed to be a gasser, so I guess I'm going to have to make do with it. I'll act like it had a small incident in the shop, and the paint got knocked off because somebody didn't put the blocks under the wheel and it rolled out into the street and ran over a baby carriage. So that's the story. Why not?
It also went through a nail polish remover fountain.
A nail polish remover fountain. Yeah, but see, I didn't even do anything to this. I didn't do a damn thing to it. Like last week I had the glue incident where I screwed up the paint. I would have been just fine with it if I would have done it, but it's like I pull it out of the package and the paint's chipped off of it, and I'm like, well, baby poopy butt. That's all I can say. But anyway, so we're going to go. Thanks again to my special guest this evening, Sir Nose Devoid of Funk. And I think we're going to take this little checker out for a ride. We're going to pretend like we're riding in it. We're actually going to go outside on the street and just see if we can use it like for a roller skate, I think. Because checkers are tough cars, these checkers. So, yeah. All right, boys and girls. I'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging around. And, do that thing. Like if you liked it. Comment if you want to tell me I'm an idiot, which I am. And subscribe. Sure, why not? Oh, I just broke things. That's wonderful. So, once again, boys and girls, see you later.